Good morning. It's Scott Cullen. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Cannata Report. It's Friday morning. It's time for Fridays with Frank. And here I am with our founder, Frank Cannata. Hey, Frank, how you feeling this Friday morning?
I'm feeling very chipper.
Chipper, okay, well, that's great. And I think I'm going to throw a topic out at you that hopefully your chipperness will add some insightfulness to. And that is the potential for more consolidation in our industry at the OEM level.
Yeah, it's something that we've wrestled with. And I think, Scott, we've had so many conversations ourselves, as you're aware, internally, about the consolidation of the manufacturers. But I can never figure out who would be, who is not going to stand tall and stay through this. It's an interesting question, but the reality is contraction is going to continue. And contraction is in the A3 space is the one that is ongoing now. A4 is doing okay and improving at the expense of A3. So there's nothing different there. And I have to believe that if HP had to do it over again, they never would have bought Samsung. That's just me talking, and I'm not taking a shot at HP at all. It's just, I look at that, what they spent and what they got and what they put into it. And they came up with a hell of a product. That wasn't the A3, the Samsung HP version of Samsung is a great product. But they're not knocking the stuffing out of anything in terms of penetrate. Let's back up a minute. In the dealer channel, I don't see great movement of HP A3 in the dealer channel. I do see movement, and there's several dealers that have done quite well with it and continue to do quite well. But by and large, as I went through the survey and saw who was selling A3 of the dealers, very, very few put them in first place. If you look at the other companies, they're expanding their A4 lines. You take Kyocera, was always been strong in A4. HP is second in terms of A4. When I talk it's second, I'm talking about in dealers who claim that that's their primary source for product. And Lexmark is third. Between those three, they have 84% of the market, of the dealer market. So, you've got that dichotomy. But getting back to the A3 question, I'll stand by what when I gave my opinion, and it was an opinion, that there's at least one company that's going to be closing their doors. And when you say this, you got to be careful. I gave as a time frame when they would announce sometime in 2023, 2024. They're not going to stop on the day they announce it. They're going to give a projection of how many more years they're going to continue to manufacture and how many more years they're going to continue to provide parts and supplies. Because that's an incredible myth. People could still make a lot of money, taking care of the myth of one of these extremely large companies that have been selling A3 for years. I think once that happens, I think the landscape will begin to change. Now, will the others all follow suit? I think the others have pretty much kind of carved out where they want to be and what they're going to be. And they have the resources to do it. If you look at the companies and you're going to say, who's going to be standing tall at the end of all this? I have to say that whatever Canon decides to do, they're going to be there and doing it better than most. Ricoh, absolutely. Konica Minolta, absolutely. Kyocera, definitely. Now, who's left? Sharp and Toshiba. Sharp's got an awful wealthy boss, and they can do what the hell they want. And in their own way, they're doing very well. And they're a company that, in my opinion, has the strongest level of dedication in the industry. And I think it's more than opinion. I think our numbers consistently bear that out, that they're out there at number one. So that business, even if it goes all the way over to A4, there'll be other technologies that they will take advantage of. That's my opinion, by virtue of their ownership by Foxconn. So they're not getting out of the business. They're just going to be doing something in addition to A4. Toshiba is the one that is the toughest to assess, because their business in Japan is really dominated by their POS equipment that they sell. These scanners for supermarkets and markets in general. And they do a great job with that product line. But as far as A3 is concerned, I don't know how, because they're certainly not going to get into production print. Are they going to just concentrate on being an A4 provider? Maybe that's the answer. And that could make some sense. But in the meantime, they have partnerships with Lexmark and Brother. I know I didn't give you much of a definitive answer, but that's a tough one to figure out how it's going to fall. But let me leave it with this. It's going to happen. Anybody who continues to believe they can preserve the level of A3 MIFs that exist today to any degree is kidding themselves.